Right, today's exercise is a side-by-side comparison of the Lixada wood gas stove next to my old trusty IKEA firepot stove. So they're loaded. Just go ahead and light them, see what happens. All right, that's the beginning. And we're going to boil 2 cups of water in this pot and 2 cups of water in this pot, side by side. There we go. Pots are on. The IKEA stove is a slow starter. The Lixada is just totally out of control. Anyway, the point is to just burn the charge that's loaded into each one and not have to add any fuel. Here we are 2 minutes in. Both are burning clean. The Lixada wood gas is definitely hotter, but the IKEA pot does take a little while to catch on. And I can see how my stainless steel pot is turning black. 4 minutes in, the Lixada is just kicking ass. Beautiful flame pattern inside. Wood gassing nicely. IKEA still going, burning slow but sure. Old reliable. And the IKEA tends to smoke more than the Lixada. Lixada I got no smoke coming out of. It's worth noting too, the Lixada stainless steel wood gas stove, it was actually loaded with less wood than my traditional IKEA fire pot. My goodness. Should note too that we had a good deal of rain here recently, so the forest floor is pretty wet still. No trouble getting stuff to burn, courtesy of birch bark. There it is. We've got our boil 5 minutes. Nothing to it. What do we got going on over here? Oh, it's coming close. It'll get there. All right, there it is. The IKEA fire pot was just maybe less than a minute behind. It's definitely burning in a more controlled state, but it does smoke a little more than this baby. Either one. There's a 100-gram weight penalty on this versus this setup here. We'll talk about that later. Here's something worth talking about. My pot is black, and that black stuff is very, very sticky. So I can't hold that pot with my hand, which is why it goes into this cozy. But I also keep my alcohol stove windscreen in there because that pot can stick to the windscreen. That's easy enough to peel off, but it's hard to peel your pot out of a cozy. So windscreen does double duty, right? It's the way we like it. As usual, I'm sterilizing my tuna can, burning off the paper, the oil, the excess tuna. It's a great view of the IKEA pot. It jets as well, just because of all the holes. So it does burn fairly cleanly. A little smoke is often good this time of year, especially when you have the mosquitoes coming out. I'm fortunate today because we don't have any mosquitoes yet. Touch wood. But I really love both of these. Obviously the Lixada, because I'm a pyromaniac, has a stronger appeal visually than the IKEA fire pot, but they both do the job extremely well. No muss, no fuss, and for a very, very, very low price. This pot was $5. This pot was 25 Canadian, but you can get it for less for you Americans. There you go. Lovely. Oh, and you can continue to feed this as well. I mean, it'll put off just as much fire as this does, you know, as mini campfire mode. Here's another little tidbit of note that I have come to realize with this Lixada stove. It has this large feed port, right, for feeding wood in while the pot is on, which is very nice, but it's I've noticed I've never had to feed wood in to get 2 cups of water to boil. Just one charge in the container in the bottom does it with room to spare. But it's nice nonetheless, because now you have this beautiful fireplace effect. I just love this stove. It just never ceases to amaze me. Let's have a gander at our surroundings. It's a beautiful spot. It's one of my favorite spots on the mountain. Mountain Royal Cemetery is right up there. We're right down here. A little draw, nicely concealed, hidden. And it is just a ravishingly beautiful day today. So obviously I love this stove, but you know, everything has its pros and its cons. It's not perfect. And the con is down here at the bottom. You can see hot ash falling through. Fortunately, I'm on this large flat stone. I always carry some heavy-duty tin foil in my bag, though, that I could put underneath that to catch that ash, to prevent any accidental combustion of the forest floor, which is an ugly occurrence that you want to avoid at all costs, especially where you're not supposed to be burning. Anyway, enough of that. Yeah, so from the stealth perspective, I have to say that this wood gasser is far better than the old standby IKEA fire pot. It just smokes so much less. I mean, look at this thing's raging away. There's virtually no smoke. So no one knows I'm here, really. Stealth. I do a lot of stealth camping in places where I'm not supposed to be. And no one's ever come up on me, you know, after seeing any kind of smoke. The IKEA pot, it did smoke a bit, but I like that because it also kept mosquitoes away. This thing just does not smoke at all. And there's really no fiddle factor involved in it. It's just so crazy simple. Yeah, can't say enough. It's so civilized. How can you not love it? My kids are drawn to the blue light of their cell phone screens, computer screens. I've always been pulled to the flicker of the flame. It's real. You see spirits in the flame. You see the mystery unfold. Blah, 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 blah. I call it the minimalist approach to better living. You don't need to make a big campfire and leave a big mess behind. That's what somebody else did. The mess that I'm leaving behind is this little pile of ash, which I'll distribute. It'll be good for the soil. And here we are down to hot coals. I just put the pot on to heat up my cleaning water. I'll clean the pot and then use that water to douse all of the ash, hot ash that's left over. We'll put it down here. We'll this other little bit of ash. That'll be it. And we'll go for a hike in the woods. There we are, our 2 pieces of kit to be tested today. The IKEA fire pot on the left, the Frankenstein cook set with the Lixada wood gas stove on the right. That's it. Alright, so earlier I spoke of weight penalty between these two. The Frankenstein kit, now that's just the, with the wood gas stove, that's 433 grams, right? And then the IKEA pot kit, 335 grams. There it is. That's the difference between the two. But they're both just delightful in their own ways. Right now I'm just, infatuated with that Lixada wood gas. There it is.